Today we're going to talk a bit about this mini PC and PCs in general, let's say media PCs in this case. It's going to be a bit rambly. I apologize. I have no script, so I'm just splurting things out as they happen. But this is my mini PC, Intel N150 Blackview MP60, whatever. I did a whole video about it. It's, I don't know, here somewhere. You'll find a link to it if you want to learn more about this mini PC. I got this originally for an office duty that I had to do, an office job, let's say, and I needed an extra PC rather than my laptop, and it did its job amazingly, and I have no complaints about it. But that job finished, so I don't need it anymore. So what's there to do with an extra PC? Well, there's many things you can do. You can turn it into an NAS, you can turn it into a home server, and I think this will do just fine. Yeah, it's small, compact, low power. I really like this mini PC. But I already have those. I already did a video about my home server PC. Again, I'll put a link here somewhere about it, and it's been running great for the past, I don't know, 5 years or something like that. Maybe even more. So I don't need one of those anymore. Another idea I've got that came to me at some point was turning it into a home theater PC or a media PC. They were all the rage back in the day. Not anymore. And let me tell you why. Well, it's because streaming services. Well, you can run Netflix and Disney and Hulu and Amazon Prime, whatever your poison of choice is when it comes to streaming services. If you run them into in a browser, well, the quality is going to be really bad. From what I understand, Netflix is the only one that's doing any kind of HD streaming. The rest is at 720p. You forget about 4K, even though I think Netflix is doing 4K in a browser. For the rest, well, they don't. You'll just need to have apps. And this is where the problem comes. Yeah, if you want good quality on your TV, you wouldn't turn to this. Your TV already probably has apps, or you can use a streaming stick, puck, whatever you use. I have an Amazon Fire, for example, in this TV, and you can use all your streaming services. Even if you don't use streaming services, let's say you have your own collection of Linux ISOs that you keep somewhere on your NAS or your server PC, like I do actually, well, then again, you wouldn't need a home PC for this. You wouldn't need a home theater PC for this. You would just use, well, whatever's plugged in your TV or your smart TV capabilities. You can use Plex locally, or if you don't like Plex, you can use Jellyfin or whatever. Even go as simple as a DLNA server. Like mini DLNA was actually quite good. I think I remember setting it up years ago on another PC. And well, most of technology can take advantage of DLNA and stream stuff over the local network. Even my home theater in a box here, this Sony thing, it's a Blu-ray player with 5.1 surround, which I use a lot. It was really cheap. I think it was like, I want to say $70, something like that. Many years ago, like 6 or 7 years ago, I got it secondhand, obviously, for this kind of price. But it's been running great for the tiny studio that I have. It's, sound is good enough. It's 5.1, actual 5.1. And I'm getting good performance out of it. And it's also capable of network streaming. Has a network jack on the back. I think it even has Wi-Fi. I don't know. I'd never used it. By the way, small tangent, always, whenever you can, use wires. And if you're not making your own patch cables, your own Ethernet cables, well, you should get on that. It's so cheap to make, and you'll save yourself a world of pain with Wi-Fi and troubleshooting and interference and stuff like that. Just plug in over wired whenever you can. Okay, where were we? Yeah, this home theater in a box, Blu-ray player stuff, it's running great. Can stream stuff over DLNA from my home server, and it's doing it perfectly. So why would you need a home theater PC? Well, you don't, and most people have gone away from it. Even if you say, let's say you have a PC and you have no proper network capabilities, let's say you just want to plug a PC into your TV and watch the stuff that's already inside a PC. Well, again, why would you do that? It doesn't make much sense. It's using a lot of power. Not much when you can do the same thing with a stick, just plug in. Some of them have SD cards, you can plug it into them, and Well, do it that way. Some routers nowadays have USB plugs on the back, and you can use it as a NAS, which is very cheap. Just plug in a USB hard drive or USB stick or whatever you have handy and, well, stream it from there. And the options are so many and so cheap. Like, I have a Fire TV stick. Where is it? This is my actual Fire TV stick plugged into my TV. I have this, I bought it on Black Friday many years ago for like, I don't know, 20 bucks or something like that. It's running great for 1080p content, which I watch because my TV is 1080. I don't watch that much TV, and 1080 is good enough for me in a small space like I have. See, why would you spend money and extra money on power for a PC? You wouldn't. So, home theater PCs, in my opinion, they've gone the way of the dodo. They're dead. So what can I do with this? Well, one thing we can do with it is turn it into a gaming system. Okay, not actual gaming, but retro gaming with emulation. I think this will do just fine until a certain point. I'm thinking, given the performance of this, somewhere around the N64, maybe even some PS1 games will run just fine on this, even original Xbox. I think they will run just fine. And when we're talking about that catalog from the PS1, Xbox down era, we're talking about thousands and thousands and thousands of games. Some of them are considered to be some of the best games ever played. So you'll get a lot of enjoyment, more enjoyment out of this little mini PC if you turn it into that. So I just plugged it in. I also have a controller, well, since you will need a controller to play your games. This is an Xbox controller, not the original Xbox. I think this is, Power A, whatever, officially licensed Xbox controller. Got it on Amazon a while ago, but it's running great and I enjoy it very, very much. So yeah, even though it's plugged in, I don't mind. Again, I live in a small space and the cable is very long. I think it's like 15 feet or something like that. I like it. So that's what we're gonna use, but for setting everything up, I will need a keyboard. This cheap small keyboard doesn't matter. And well, that's it. And in order to emulate everything and have everything set up, I'm gonna use Batocera, I don't know how you pronounce it, whatever it is. Batocera Linux. It has everything you need already inside, so all the emulators and everything. You just need to provide your own legally obtained ROMs and BIOSes, and that's it. So let's set Batocera on this. I'm just gonna copy Batocera to USB stick according to the website instructions, plug it in, and then see how we do. Now booting up into Batocera from USB, we get a nice interface here showing all our system that's currently installed. I mean, that currently has some games for it, but you will see a problem at first because there's no sound. You might be tempted in going into the settings, into the sound settings to enable it, but it's not there. You will have to go into the system setting, especially if you're using HDMI and not plugging in headphones, and you're gonna have to go to audio output, select HDMI, and while I'm here, I'm gonna modify the video output as well. And once you exit out of the system settings, well, then you'll see that audio is coming in nice and clear. So let's install Batocera on the local hard drive, because you can run it from a stick and it's USB drive and it's intended to run like that, so you can plug it into any computer. But I want to install it on the mini PC itself, so yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Batocera is different than all other Linux installations because it won't work if you try to install it. It's gonna tell you that network is required. It's weird like that. It downloads the ISO or system image, whatever it is, and then install it. So you have to make sure, if you're on Wi-Fi, make sure you enable Wi-Fi and connect to it. Then go into the system settings, select install on a new disk. Make sure you select the proper disk where you want installed. It's gonna delete everything, so be careful. Are you sure? Click install and it's gonna download the image from the internet and then proceed to writing it on the disk. And once we boot back up again, really nice splash screen. It's gonna go through a bit of a setup through the BIOS. I didn't show that, but it's gonna be pretty fast. Now let's test out some games really fast. This is the NES Robocop 3. This was really a favorite of mine when I was a kid. I think it was the first game that I ever finished completely on any console. I had an NES clone, but I have very fond memories of this game. But yeah, still a good game in my opinion, and give it a shot if not. But obviously this PC will run NES games no matter what. Anything can run NES though nowadays, running it perfectly, and sound is great and everything. Let's step it up a bit with the SNES or Super Famicom. This is Castlevania Dracula X. And again, it's running perfectly. I even remembered to turn on the FPS counter for this game, if you can see it in the top right corner. And it's running just great, picture perfect. Let's step it up a bit in generations. This is the Dreamcast and Jet Grind Radio. And again, running just fine. 30 FPS because that's the original Dreamcast frame rate. I'm sure there's tricks you can do in the settings where you can render the game at higher resolution settings and it'll probably run just fine. At least the Dreamcast will. Next up we have the N64. This is Banjo-Tooie, and again running just fine, 60 FPS, no issues whatsoever. And everybody's favorite, GoldenEye for the N64 as well. Again, running just great, 60 FPS, locked basically. The game does slow down a bit, but that's the nature of the N64. Doesn't do it all the time, but yeah, I'm struggling a bit here. I'm sorry about my gameplay. But for some reason, the controls were inverted. It had like aviation controls, you know, so movement was a bit weird. And I just pushed through it just for this demo. I went into the settings and made sure everything's working perfectly. Stepping up a bit again with the PlayStation, the original PlayStation. This is Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I think it's one of the best Castlevania games ever made. I really enjoyed this thing. Sorry about the filming. For some reason, I couldn't record anymore through my video capture device, which is terrible, by the way. I really need to get a new one because of all the screen tearing that it does. So I had to film the TV basically so I can get this footage for you. Needless to say, it runs great. Stepping it up again, this is GTA San Andreas on the PlayStation 2. Again, running just great. No issues whatsoever, steady frame rate, no dips, no downs. Again, you can probably go into the settings and enable like double resolution or triple or quadruple resolutions, maybe. We'll see in the next game, maybe not, maybe this is the best it can do. But there are speed hacks and resolution hacks and filters to make it look, well, how you remember it looked like, which it, well, never did. But yeah, this is what I'm saying about plateauing with the limit what this emulator can do, this mini PC with emulators can do. This is Shadow of the Colossus, again, really good game, but it's running very sluggish. It's like moon gravity and everything. And yeah, sound is choppy as well, very choppy. Definitely not playable, but again, maybe there's some speed hacks that you can do. And the settings, I didn't bother with it. I'm sure I'll bother at some point because I really want to play this game. Now on to some portable systems. This is the PSP, running God of War, Chains of Olympus. Again, running great, no issues whatsoever. This one I'm pretty sure you can. I think I scaled it twice at least, and it was running just fine, no issues whatsoever. Same thing goes for the Nintendo DS. This is Super Mario DS, and again, running just fine. Sometimes, with some games, not all of them, not all the emulators, and I noticed this when I was doing my testing for the PC with Windows on it. Sometimes it starts out a bit slow. I don't know if it's shader caching or some kind of limited memory issues, but after a few seconds or a minute, everything smooths out and you get a perfect 60 FPS all the time. So with a bit of patience, you can certainly get there. I remember when I was a kid playing all these games, or even games on my PC, I definitely had to have a lot of patience. Just because this is a mini PC and it's not that powerful doesn't mean you cannot play PC games. Of course you can stream them to an Xbox, cloud, or whatever it's called, but if you got a decent enough PC in your household connected to the same network, you can use Steam Link to play games over the network. So your regular PC, in this case it's my laptop, in another room even, that's why cables are important, can run the game and stream it over the network to your mini PC or whatever it is that you can install Steam Link on. With just a normal Steam client actually, and stream it from there. So yeah, this is running great. I don't have the most powerful laptop. It's a 4060, but again, it's a laptop. But it's running great, 60 FPS locked. I think that's the video encoding and video transmission, whatever Steam magic they do. Lag is, I think it's a bit noticeable. I'm not that sensitive when it comes to lag, but sometimes I do notice. I think it's noticeable, or maybe it's just in my head, but I played a few games with it. This is Control, by the way, and if you haven't played this game, you should step on it now and play it. This is one of the best games I think ever made. Steam Link works great over the network, so you can have a lot of fun with this little mini PC system, no matter what it is. Home theater PCs are dead doesn't mean you cannot still use them. As you can see in the menu, in Batocera, you have Kodi Media Center. So you can still use it for movie streaming from your whatever it is that you can use Kodi with. I haven't used it in a while, but I just went to the settings, added my home server, my NAS, sorry, to the list of sources for the movies, and here it is, streaming Dune 2 over the network to my TV, and it's running just great. Again, I have many ways to do that, but if you only have this one, it still definitely can do it. But the same can be achieved with a cheap $30 TV stick, or how much they are these days, just as easy. So yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. I really like this mini PC. I'm having so much fun with it. It was useful while it did its job, but now as a gaming system, retro gaming, and even gaming over the network, a media player and whatever it is gonna take on a new life, and I'm really gonna enjoy it. Kodi as well, it has a remote for your phone. But yeah, once again, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy my content, and I'll see you for the next video.